So let's talk a little bit about freedom. What is freedom? Is it freedom from something? A lot of people have come to me in my hypnosis practice, and they want freedom from a problem. And they want me to help them get back to the way they were. This is not something I can do with them, or for them, certainly. Because ultimately, when we have a challenge, when we have a problem, when we have something that is causing us to feel out of alignment, out of health, out of wholeness, out of connection, we can't go back to the way it was, because the way we were is what caused the problem. But a lot of people think, oh, last year I was fine, just set the dial back. But we can't go back. We have to go forward. And so when we come in our lives to some kind of a point where we are challenged, where we are threatened, where we are scared, where we are terrified, it's like we could kind of pull back, and a lot of us do. We pull back. I've done this myself. I'm just going to spend some time alone. You know, the last relationship didn't work, so I'm just going to be fine by myself. It's really okay. But ultimately, that's not the solution. The solution is working on our stuff. The solution is communicating better, not only to ourselves, but to the people we're in connection and relationship with, whether it's at work or any other place, and moving forward, moving to something. And one of the key components that's, I think, taught in Unity, as well as pretty much most spiritual practices, is this idea that you want to focus on what it is you want, not what you don't want. Because the way the universe works and the way our neurologies are wired, we pretty much get what we focus on. So if you're focused on what you don't want all the time, you're going to get that. And the story I tell my clients when I introduce this concept, which is very new to a lot of them, is, okay, you come around the corner and somehow a lion has gotten out of the zoo. And you come face to face on the street, in the middle of a city, with a lion. If you focus on that lion, you're not going to find a place to go to safety, right? You have to focus on the lion enough to know it's there, and then you have to immediately look for some solution. You have to look away from the lion for a tree or a doorway you can jump into and close, whatever. But in our lives, we're kind of trained to focus on the lion. And we spend all this time focusing on the problem, and ultimately we keep getting more and more of that problem. And we wonder why. And it's this, Einstein is famous for his quote of insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. And the problem is, we are so trained to, don't forget your keys. Well, someone just told you to forget your keys, right? How about remember your keys, right? So in the idea of freedom, what is freedom? It's not freedom from constraint. It's not freedom from someone who's dominating or controlling or keeping you small. That's focusing on what you don't want. A little of that's okay. It's nice to know, okay, I don't like this, and I'm going to do something different. I'm going to go someplace else. I'm going to move forward. And so we want to shift our focus. Well, what is it that we do want? And nothing against smokers, but in my hypnosis practice, it was the smokers very often. I'd say, well, what do you want? And they would just give me a litany of what they didn't want. They'd say, well, I don't want to smell like smoke. I'm like, okay, well, if you didn't smell like smoke, what would you smell like? And they'd like, oh, fresh air. Oh, okay. You know, what is it you do want? So in your practice, as you kind of go through your week, notice how many times you tell yourself, oh, don't do that, or don't think about that. And the only way to not think about what you don't want to think about is to think about something else. And one of the techniques I use is what I call the puppy and kitten technique. And all you have to do, if someone's talking about something negative that you don't want to talk about, or if you're thinking of something negative, start thinking about puppies and kittens. Go to YouTube and type in puppies and kittens if you need a visual to see a bunch of cute puppies and kittens. That will shift you. It's impossible to stay feeling miserable if you are looking at puppies and kittens or imagining looking at puppies and kittens. So if you're at home, go ahead, open up another tab and go check out some puppies and kittens and for later, for after the talk. This is the talk, so stay with me here, stay with me, okay? I love talking to a camera. Hopefully there's somebody out there. Are you out there? But in this process for me of the whole Transformation Tuesday and why I'm doing this is because I need to. Everything I'm telling you guys, I'm telling myself. This is not something I have mastered and that I don't need to do anymore. This is my daily practice. And the thing is, it has so profoundly improved my life that I want to share that with other people. And that it's very simple. We get what we focus on. We get what we focus on. So focus in on what you want, right? And that's in many of my songs. You'll find some of those messages in my songs. I think Walk Through Roses. We get what we focus on, so focus in on what you want. Focus in on me, focusing my love on you. Maybe I have to play that song, but the idea is, in your life right now, you probably have problems, you probably have challenges. Whatever they are, what's the flip side? What's the solution? What is it that you actually want? You know, if you're in a career situation that's not working for you, well, what kind of career do you want? Hold that in your mind, right? And I hold in my mind that this place is going to be filled with people who want to hear my music and my message. And it may not happen here. It may have to happen someplace else. I don't know. But I am focusing in my mind on the possibility that this is the work that I was born to do. So hopefully there's some people who are open to hearing it and who want to go deep with it. And at the same time, we also want to focus on what is actually happening. So if I focused on you folks and didn't imagine other people joining you, that wouldn't be right either. So I need to focus on you and fill myself with appreciation that you're here and you're present and you're here, whoever's online, and you're present. And let's share this. Let's tell some other people. Let's bring this to another level. I could focus on, not that many people showed up, this always happens to me, ever since my 4th grade birthday party, no one ever comes to the stuff I do, no one wants to hear my music, that's the stuff that I could go to. But instead, for me, freedom is about the ability to do what I want, when I want, where I want, with whom I want. And right now, I am completely and absolutely free. Because right now, I'm doing exactly what I want to do, with exactly who I want to do it with, in exactly the way I want to do it. That, to me, is the ultimate freedom. And I just accomplished that. I'm free. Well, what about tomorrow, right? And today, I was free all day. I was getting ready for this, and I was working on my blog post, and I felt the luxury of having my work be something that I can do every day, and every day it's different. And some days I'm off doing a gig, some days I'm at home, some days I'm working in the garden. To have that freedom is a wonderful gift. But no one gave it to me. I had to focus relentlessly on what I want. Relentlessly. And it's not static. It changes. And sometimes I have to reevaluate. I have to take a day and sit and go, what's next? How do I want to do this differently? How can I do this better? So for me, the freedom piece is our ability to not just feel freedom, but to evaluate and to guide ourselves strategically along our path with heart. So I don't know what freedom is to you, but that's what it is to me. And I'd like to take us into a meditation. From this point.